5.
Hi, I'm Karen with the Gaithersburg Community Museum, and thank you for joining us tonight. With all the news about the OSIRIS-Rex mission and the asteroid Bennu and the large asteroid that's supposed to pass by at the end of this month, we thought it was a good time to look at near-Earth objects and planetary defense. And fortunately, we were able to get Nancy Wolfson to join us tonight. Nancy is Vice Chair for the International Astronautical Federation's Near-Earth Object Committee, and she is President of Disrupting Space, an independent female-led company in the space industry. She's written a great deal on near-Earth objects and planetary defense, and she's joining us tonight. Welcome, Nancy.
Hi, Karen. Thank you for having me.
So I understand you've created a video for us tonight, and then we're going to do some questions at the end, right?
Yes. So this video is basically outlining planetary defense and NEO, and all the information, the basic information that we need to know to understand the importance of planetary defense. And of course, we are going to talk about the OSIRIS-Rex mission. And after that, I will be more than happy to answer all your questions.
Great, let's get started.
Welcome, this is Nancy C. Wolfson. This presentation is titled On the Hunt for Near-Earth Objects, sponsored by Gaithersburg Community Museum. You can contact me at lessonsbynancy@gmail.com. I am the Vice Chair of the International Astronautical Federation Committee on Near-Earth Objects. I oversee and assist the research, educational, and outreach activities of the committee. You can find me in this picture on the top left, along with some of my colleagues, such as Patrick from the European Space Agency. In the middle, we have Joseph from the Luxembourg Space Agency. At the bottom, we have Alejandro from the Paraguayan Space Agency. And next to him, Mariela Graciano from NGV. I am the signature of the United Nations Asteroid Day Declaration. You can see in this list astronauts, famous entertainers, planetary defense, and space specialists, such as my colleague Patrick, who assisted in the Rosetta mission. You can find me next to him at the bottom, next to Rick Armstrong, and of course, our dear astronaut from Canada, Chris, along with many others, such as Stephen Hawking, Bill Nye, the Science Guy, and many more. On the hunt for near-Earth objects, what is planetary defense and why should you care? While scientists are confident a large asteroid crashed into Earth approximately 65 million years ago, leading to the extinction of dinosaurs and some other life forms on our planet, they do not know exactly where the asteroid came from and how it made its way to Earth. A 2007 study using visible light data from ground-based telescopes first suggested the remains of a huge asteroid known as a Bennu as a possible suspect. What is planetary defense and why should you care? On the morning of February 15, 2013, a house-sized asteroid entered the atmosphere over Chelyabinsk. Many amateur videos showed an object speeding across the sky. About 9:20 a.m. local time in Russia. On February 15, 2013, hundreds of people were injured when a meteorite shot across the sky and exploded over central Russia. A blinding flash of loud sonic boom damaged thousands of buildings and shattered glass everywhere. The meteorite was a small asteroid, about the size of a 6-story building. The large fireball began to tear apart at an altitude of 28 miles, traveling at a speed of 12 miles per second. The rock exploded with the energy of around 500 kilotons of TNT, leaving a large, thick vapor trails, and its most intense and striking fireball glowed 30 times brighter than the sun, leaving people on the ground below with skin and retinal burns. Let's talk about planetary defense and NEOs. We're going to learn some of the basics. Let's start with the basics about what is a NEO. NEO is a small solar system body whose orbit brings it to proximity with Earth, such as comets, asteroids, and large meteorites. The vast majority orbit the Sun far from our planet. Those whose orbits approach our own are called near-Earth objects, and the vast majority are harmless and pose no threat. There are a large number of tiny asteroids, and several of them approach our planet several times every year. There are over 100 million small asteroids, but they are hard to discover unless they get very close to Earth. What is considered a small NEO? Roughly 15 to 30 feet, 5 to 10 meters wide. More or less the size of a small school bus. What is considered a large NEO or a near-Earth asteroid? There are large asteroids that pose a much greater threat. If they were to impact, they can be detected much farther away from Earth because they are much brighter than the small ones. Ceres was called an asteroid for many years. Ceres is so much bigger and so different from its rocky neighbors that scientists classified it as a dwarf planet in 2006. Dwarf planet Ceres is the largest object in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. What is planetary defense? Planetary defense is the term used to describe all the capabilities needed to detect the possibility and warn of potential asteroid or comet's impacts with Earth, and then either prevent or mitigate their possible effects. It requires interagency and intergovernmental coordination to plan responses to potential impact threats. And here you can see in more detail the steps involved in planetary defense. We will expand on these details in a future presentation. Planetary defense missions. What is the OSIRIS-Rex? OSIRIS-Rex is an acronym for Origin, Spectral Interpretation, Resource Identification, and Security Joint Explorer. OSIRIS-Rex will be the first for a USA mission and is led by the University of Arizona and managed by NASA Goddard Space Flight Center. The OSIRIS-Rex is a spacecraft designed and built by Lockheed Martin near Denver. The company is also operating the spacecraft from its mission support area from launch through sample return. OSIRIS-Rex is a NASA asteroid study and sample return mission. The mission's primary goal is to obtain a sample of at least 60 grams from Bennu and return the sample to Earth from a detailed for detailed analysis. OSIRIS-Rex was launched on September 8, 2016, flew past Earth on September 22nd, 2017, and rendezvoused with Bennu on December 3rd, 2018. What is OSIRIS-Rex mission? NASA's OSIRIS-Rex mission is the first USA mission to successfully collect a sample from an asteroid. On October 20, 2020, the spacecraft briefly touched down on Bennu, an asteroid more than 200 million miles from Earth, and grabbed dust and rocks from a sample site called Nightingale. The sample collected was estimated to weigh more than 2 ounces. The sample will be delivered to Earth in September 2023. Bennu is a potential hazardous asteroid that could one day threaten Earth. Bennu was discovered on September 11, 1999, during the Near-Earth Asteroid Survey by Lincoln Near-Earth Asteroid Research. Because Bennu is a very primitive space object, scientists say its surface grid and thus could hold fascinating clues about the chemistry that brought the sun and planets into being more than 4.5 billion years ago. Here are some of the facts about Bennu that we could discuss during the live chat. We're going to talk about some interesting facts about Bennu. Bennu is classified as a B-type asteroid, which means it contains a lot of carbon and along with its various minerals. Bennu was named in 2013 by a 9-year-old boy from North Carolina who won the Name That Asteroid competition in collaboration between the mission, the Planetary Society, and the Lunar Asteroid Survey that discovered Bennu. Bennu is an asteroid about as tall as the Empire State Building and located at a distance of about 200 million miles away from Earth. If asteroids are tracers of our history, what will Bennu tell us about it? Bennu is dark, and scientists think that it has carbon. In 2014, Rosetta's lander landed on comet 67P and found carbon molecules. Bennu was once part of a much larger asteroid parent body in the main asteroid belt located between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Scientists believe when this large asteroid collided with another object, Bennu broke off and became its own asteroid. Then it migrated to an orbit closer to Earth. September 17, 2005, 6 years after its discovery, Bennu was observed by researchers using the 1.5-meter Cooper telescope at the University of Arizona. In 2007, the Spitzer Space Telescope observed Bennu. This telescope is the final mission in NASA's Great Observatory program. Is designed to detect infrared radiation, which is primarily heat that is emitted into space. This space telescope provided key information for planning OSIRIS-Rex mission and also led scientists to believe that Bennu, based on the speed of its cooling, appeared to behave more like sand. This grain size estimate is good news for our sampling mechanism, touch and go sample acquisition mechanism, which is capable of collecting grains up to 3 centimeters across. And these are some of the reasons why NASA decided to go with OSIRIS-Rex mission. OSIRIS-Rex was launched from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida on September 8, 2016. August 2018, 2 years after its launch, OSIRIS-Rex take its first onboard image, and you can see it right here. On December 3, 2018, OSIRIS-Rex finally reaches its destination. OSIRIS-Rex arrived at Bennu on December 3, 2018, and began orbiting the asteroid from the first time. Is here when scientists discovered that the previous predictions about Bennu and its possible sand-like surface was wrong. They discovered that Bennu has a rocky surface. These were not good news. On October 29, 2020, NASA published an article where we can find the main actors involved in the OSIRIS mission. This achievement by OSIRIS-Rex on behalf of NASA and the world has lifted our vision to a higher things we can achieve together as teams and nations, said NASA administrator. We are working to keep up with our own success here, and my job is to keep safely return as large a sample of Bennu as possible, said Dante Loretta, OSIRIS-Rex principal investigator at the University of Arizona. The loss of mass is of concern to me, so I am strongly encouraging the team to stop the precious sample as quick as possible. OSIRIS-Rex mission, news after touch and go maneuver. NASA's OSIRIS-Rex mission team received on Thursday, October 22nd, images that confirm the spacecraft has collected more than enough material to meet one of its main mission's requirements. On Wednesday, October 28, the mission team sent commands to the spacecraft instructing it to close the capsule, marking the end of the most challenging phase of the mission. The sample will be delivered to Earth in September 2023. And here we can see some of the major players and organizations when it comes to planetary defense. And I wish to advise you of fake news. If you wish to know more about planetary defense and news, please go to the official sources, such as Planetary Defense Coordination Office, NASA, the United Nations, UN SPIDER, ESA, which is the European Space Agency, IAWN, the International Asteroid Warning Network, same page, Asteroid Day. And here we can see some of the organizations involved in planetary defense. We will expand on this in detail in a future presentation. Now I want to give a special thanks to Karen Loads and the Gaithersburg Community Museum. This was On the Hunt for Near-Earth Objects, and I am Nancy C. Wolfson. You can contact me at lessonsbynancy@gmail.com. Now, I want you to remember this. Studying asteroids is important when it comes to understanding our universe better, but planetary defense is crucial when it comes to protecting our planet and keeping our communities and the people we love the most safe. Stay tuned. See you next time. Thank you.
Nancy, that was quite fascinating. We have a question for you. So, okay, so
Right.
we have a couple of questions for you. One is,
Okay. Sorry
you
about that.
talked-
I have some. Yes.
sorry,
I'm listening.
transitions are always hard. Yes.
Yes.
You mentioned the asteroid that hit Russia in 2013, but if I remember correctly, weren't astronauts looking at a different asteroid that was going to pass close by Earth, and they didn't even know about the asteroid that hit Chelyabinsk?
Yes. Unfortunately, they didn't detect it. And in those days, many of the specialists and scientists and the ones that are in charge of observing these asteroids gave different presentations to explain the reason why. Unfortunately, they were so focused on one of them that their efforts were completely on a completely different path, and they didn't see it. Well, we can predict the trajectory of these near-Earth objects. But of course, unfortunately, this incident proved to all of us that there is still more work to be done when it comes to detecting asteroids and their trajectory.
Okay. So the question is, did our contact with Bennu indicate its density, rigidity, or general composition? And then it says in parentheses, presumably the surface is a distillation caused by solar effects and impact compression. And I hope you understood what that meant, because I certainly didn't.
Well, so I'm now focused on the technical aspects of planetary defense. I focus on the risk communication and interagency collaboration. But yes, I can tell you about some of the basics. Definitely not just for Bennu, but for any asteroid that we haven't really touched or get a sample from, it's still a mystery. We can't predict what is its composition, but there is no way that we can know for sure. If I'm not mistaken, on November 20th, Dante Loretta will be giving us the latest updates and what they know now Bennu to be and composed by. So I will suggest you to stay tuned. There is still little that we know about Bennu. As I said in my presentation, we used to think that it was sandy. It was like grain sand-like. And after this event and getting the samples, we know that it's rocky and is more challenging than we think. So yeah, we're gonna keep learning more about Bennu. And I will suggest you to not go and believe everything that you hear about Bennu yet, because I know that we are still learning what Bennu is composed with and what is its the information that we're going to be getting in the next weeks and months. So we're still developing the information to be delivered to the general public.
So you mentioned that you work a lot with interagency. How many different agencies worked on the OSIRIS-Rex mission?
Well, as I said in my presentation, at least the most official ones that we have is Lockheed Martin. We have obviously NASA. NASA chose this mission because I thought that Bennu has all the qualities to be one of the best places to get a sample from. So as right now we have NASA, Arizona, the University of Arizona, and Dante Loretta is actually one of the main characters in this mission, and he is working from the Arizona University. And then we have Lockheed Martin, which is the one that created and developed the the machine itself and most of its parts.
So then
when-
another
yes.
question. What is, we talk a lot about asteroids, comets, meteors, meteoroids. Are they, not quite sure how they are different?
Well, they're all different. They have different compositions and they behave differently from one to another. What I can tell you is that, well, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so what I can tell you, and let's see if this can explain this a little bit, is that an asteroid is a leftover from a formation of our solar system for many, many years and billions of years, right? These are the small bodies that have collided with each other and they broke in little tiny parts, tiny for the universe, big for us. So, and asteroids are mostly composed of different minerals, and each of them has their own specific type of elements. And again, we can predict some of them, but until we actually arrive to one of them, there is no way that we can know for sure what they are made of. So, and we have different class of asteroids. We have the C's, the S, the M's. So, and most of them most likely composed of clay and this rock that is called silicate. And yeah, so.
Okay. All right. Well, so that's all the questions we have. Thank you so much. And thank you to our audience for joining us. I just want to mention that Storytime Station this month, Tuesday, November 24th at 11 a.m., author Carrie Lara will be reading her new book, The Heart of Mi Familia. And we'll be posting a suggested activity to go with the book in the comment section of the event, so look for that. And finally, our social distancing All Aboard with Santa program is sold out, but if you're still interested in doing it, we encourage you to call and let us know. We're starting a wait list. If we have enough people, who knows, we might expand the program. So thank you all again. Thank you, Nancy. It was fascinating. And until next time, bye.
Thank you.